Hello everyone and welcome back to Growing with TJ. Today I have a reality check for myself and anyone that goes on a vacation for a week and leaves their garden unattended. Now I do this just to feed my family, and I also put a community stand out front, and that's just to get some fresh homegrown produce to the community. It's nothing I do for a job or an income. It's just something I like to do for fun, and I use that money to put in towards the next garden season. So a week away from the garden, as soon as I stepped in, I noticed issue after issue after issue. My eyes are going left and right. There's a problem. There's a problem. The cucumbers got hit. We got some stuff knocked down. I didn't have anyone check on the garden, but we did have a ton of rain last week. One day we got 5 inches. We had multiple days of rain. So the rain was not an issue. If we would have been having a heat wave, I would have had some come over, and water the garden. But that aspect, it was very good. We got plenty of rain, and you see a lot of growth. And it's kind of looking overgrown, needs little touch-ups. Weeds are everywhere. I did do some weeding, so that is not too bad right now. But yeah, I'm just going to go around and show you what I have going on in the garden, the issues that I've noticed, and we'll fix some of those issues. We'll replant some seeds, and we're just going to kind of play catch up, get back on top, and keep moving on into August and September. July burnout is a real thing. I pretty much get it every time I get back from vacation, just because I feel overwhelmed. Even though I tried everything I could to get way ahead in the garden before I left, you still come back with issues and problems. And we'll go through the garden and I'll show you those problems. And hey, you just got to keep pushing forward. Don't just focus on the negatives. Yes, you got to fix those. You got to take care of those. That's 100% true. But at the end of the video, I'm going to show you what I'm harvesting. I'm going to put my stand out for the first time. It's not going to be a crazy a lot yet, but tomatoes are rolling in, and we got other stuff that are starting to roll in, so the stand will start getting filled up. So let's go around here, show you some of the issues, and just really show you reality of going away for a week on vacation, which is never ideal, but we all need vacation sometimes. And it was a great time. So let's go around the garden and let's check it out. So the first thing I want to show you guys is, obviously you can probably see on the left hand side of the screen, or my right, that those cucumbers look pretty good. And then if you come over here, you can see these cucumbers are shot. And investigating a little bit, we got some holes in the stem here on the bottom. So I'm not sure if it's a vine borer. And honestly, doesn't quite look like it's a vine borer. I'm not seeing any, it's soft down there on the stem, but I don't see any, pus or anything that would make me think it is a vine borer. So it is possibly that the cucumber beetle finally got to this side of the cucumber trellis, and they do infect your plant, and eventually it will make it die. Now, I really tried to catch up on the cucumbers beetles when I left, just to try and stay on top of it, but I am seeing some in the garden, so it's just a constant fight. I see some eggs over here as well, so I got to take care of the eggs. I'm going to clean up the cucumbers. I'm not going to plant any more cucumbers right here, but over there I will put some more seeds in next to the cucumbers wave 2 that I planted. But yes, you can see, so when I first walked in the garden, what do I see? I see this cucumber is just completely toast. There's no saving that. You pull that, get rid of the plant. I'll probably burn it, and plant more seeds, and you move on. What are you going to do? That's the thing about the garden. You dwell on the negatives and the issues you have, you're just going to keep pushing yourself back. So I'll get rid of this cucumber plant, and we'll move on to the next area. Let's show you a little bit what I'm finding here. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it looks like it is probably a vine borer. You can see the stem is very mushy and squishy. We got some stuff in here, some pussy like stuff, and yeah, the stems are just terrible. Now, I'm seeing maybe some type of fungal disease here as well on these plants, so I'm going to take care of that. And really what I'm going to do is kind of get this stuff on the ground, get up the trellis going this way, and try and look and see if I see anything else. I am finding some squash bugs that I am taking care of as well, cucumber beetles. So got to get back on track of every night coming out here, taking out the squash bugs, any eggs, any cucumber beetles, and just keep on top of it and start getting that population back down like I had before I left. But there was not many that I could find before I left. But in just a week, you know, it was 8 days, I guess, you know, they took back over. You know, if you don't get to the eggs and they're hatching, you're just going to constantly be playing catch up. So I'm going to put this all back up, trellis it a little bit better, and I'll show you the end product. All right, you can see that I cleaned up the cucumber, got rid of any leaves that look damaged or diseased. I see a few I might have missed, but if we get in here even closer, let's see if I can do this without making it shaky. And you really look in there, you know, we got some cucumbers growing. I picked that one. This is the Diva cucumber, so we got cucumbers on there. Now I will take care of any pests that I see. Maybe I will use a fungicide, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, so, you know, last 3 years, I came back from vacation and all my cucumbers are dead. My squash, zucchini were dead, taken over by, you know, pest and disease. I'm happy to at least see that I still got cucumber growing. Over here is the second wave. I'll plant a third right there. Now, it's probably not ideal to plant them all in the same area with the cucumber beetle. That's the space I have, and that is what I'm going to do. And we'll keep track of the cucumber beetles and try and get a hold of that. Happy to see right here is that this white scallop squash, you can see all the bees buzzing around. There's a cucumber beetle right there. Squash that. But you can see all the bees buzzing. You get in here, it might be tough to see. You know, I picked some off so they didn't get too big, but in a week you can see how big that white scallop got. That's too big. I'm in there, they're a little better size. Let me show you something. Not looking at eggs for a while. Eggs. Eggs. More eggs. So I need to go through here. See some eggs over there. Eggs up there. So there's eggs everywhere. If I don't get a hold of these eggs right now, I will have a mess with the squash bugs and cucumber beetles. So that is something I also see. Another thing I wasn't seeing is, you see how big that cucumber beetle was? I don't know if you can see that. That is huge. So they are growing. That's why the eggs, look at that, more eggs. Pretty much every leaf almost has eggs. So, you know, I've been checking them every day, and then I was gone for a couple days, for a week, and the eggs have been laid. If they hatch, that would not be good. But since I kept up on them leading up to vacation, you know, the eggs were laid because I was gone, but they didn't hatch. You know, I think squash bugs, maybe 5 to 10 days, I believe they hatch. Somewhere along those lines. So I was able to, you know, knock them down pretty good. Now I came back before they hatch. I can take care of the eggs, and I won't have a full, you know, infestation of squash bugs or cucumber beetles. I should be able to keep up with them. So I'll go through here, take care of all the eggs. I'll also check out the cucumbers and see what I got going on there. Something else that I noticed back here, this is a watermelon right here, Mini Love. You know, you can see how high it was. It's growing pretty well. But if you look closely, something has been eating that. It's everywhere. I believe that is something eating it. I don't know really what that could be. And new growth looks okay. The stem down there looks okay. The plant doesn't really look like the leaves are, damaged or anything. But something from here up did some work, because it is, this is dead, but that's because, it got ripped up. So I'm not sure what that was, but to me it looks like it was being gnawed on by something. Now there's some new growth, so I'll let that grow. I'm hopeful to get some watermelon. I got sugar baby over there that looks pretty good. But yeah, something has been back here at this watermelon. I'm not sure what it is, because obviously it is pretty high up, so I don't know if a groundhog would do that, or if this is, I'm not sure. That's one thing I need to get better at, is kind of, seeing the problems and knowing right away, okay, that was a squash bug or cucumber beetle. And I'm not the greatest at that, and I need to get better. And the way I get better is, by observing, researching, and through experience. So if you're like me and you have a tough time, diagnosing the issue, you just got to keep going on, keep fighting, researching, and keep your eyes peeled and use your experience to your advantage. It's going to be a failure, but you need to learn from your failures. Another thing that happened is I did not support these tomatoes. This is determinate tomatoes. And obviously you can see that's fallen over, so I got to get that picked up. And even over here, the weight is really pushing this. Little grasshopper. You can see pretty large tomatoes in there. They're all starting to size up. Some already turned. And I need to make sure I have these staked up better, so that they don't break and I lose the tomatoes. But plenty of tomatoes to come. Peppers are producing, excuse me, like wild. Look at that Kiki orange marigold right there. Dragon tongue beans are getting their flowers. Can't get over this Grenadero plum tomato. I mean, look at all those in there. I just pulled a bunch too that were either ripe or almost ripe. That's the mushroom basket right there. Big beef. And look at that thing right there. They're looking good. Besides the weeds, the cucumbers, the squash bugs, cucumber beetles, maybe some early disease coming in, blight with all the rain and humidity. Other than that, we're looking pretty good. You can see here the cherry tomatoes. A lot of them are starting to ripe. I just picked a bunch for the stand. I don't know if you can see this guy right here. He's got a little nose. Pretty cool. Tons of cherry tomatoes to come. These are all staked up pretty well. Come over here. Brandywine. Beefsteak. Another mushroom basket back there. That one's looking a little rough. Look at all these flowers in here. A lot of male flowers though, but a lot of white scallop squash growing. It's looking all pretty good. I got overwhelmed, and there were issues, definitely some issues. The raspberries dealing with the fungal disease. The onions flopped over, so I need to pick them. Bush watermelon, letting it sprawl out. Got the eggplant. So overall, not the worst. More eggplant in there. You can see the coloring on this. And I'll show you guys what I harvested today, and I'll show you the stand. All right, guys, just wanted to show you what I harvest. I did pick some tomatoes that have turned fairly well. I'll let them ripen off the vine. One thing, that people love vine ripened tomatoes, which I do leave some on the vine, but once they get to a certain point, they are already locked in their flavor. So it's not that big of a deal to pull them early. Some parsley. Got some bell peppers. Mushroom basket. That one's for me. I'm going to try that one out first time. Also right here, I pulled some more carrots. Looking beautiful. These are russet potatoes. Pretty good harvest from a fabric pot. Then I will go out to the stand and show you what that's looking like. And then we will wrap the video up. All right, let's get a quick look at the stand. See everything I got here. Tomatoes are still slowly ripening. I think very soon we'll have some tomatoes, a lot of tomatoes, and I'll be able to sell in boxes. Right now I'm just doing singles. Got the Mountain Magic, larger cherry tomato, Sakura, lots of peppers, white scallop down there, and squash. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Thank you.